You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on an EU mechanism on democracy, the rule of law and fundamental rights.
The European Union is founded on values such as democracy, the rule of law and human rights. It is an explicit condition for membership, but what happens when these values are threatened from within? How well equipped is the EU to deal with such threats? Let's find out.
These principles are deeply enshrined in the EU treaties. They are common to all member states and a precondition for a well-functioning union based on mutual trust.
But cases such as Hungary and most recently Poland prove that adherence to foundational EU values cannot be taken for granted. So how well equipped is the EU to combat democratic backsliding in member states?
According to the current rules, the Council can suspend certain membership rights of a member state in the case of serious and persistent breaches of the rule of law and other cherished European values. However, this punishment has never been meted out. Why?
Well, first of all, because it has to be approved by a so-called qualified majority of states under the EU system of weighted voting. But there's also the member states' reluctance to take action against each other.
However, the mood changed in 2013 after the Hungarian government failed to comply with European Parliament's resolution regarding the backsliding on the rule of law in the country, leading the Commission to come up with new instruments to deal with such breaches.
So in 2014, the Commission proposed a new rule of law framework. The new mechanism establishes an early warning tool to tackle threats to the rule of law and allows the Commission to enter into a dialogue with the member state concerned to find a solution and avoid having to trigger Article 7.
In early January 2016, the new framework was used for the first time when the Commission initiated a dialogue with Poland regarding the constitutional crisis in the country. The dialogue continues today, although results so far have been limited.
To the European Parliament, this and other cases prove the need to develop a more effective mechanism to ensure treaty principles and values are upheld throughout the Union. So in 2015, the Parliament called on the Commission to come up with a new rule of law mechanism.
According to the Parliament's Civil Liberties Committee, the new mechanism should take the form of a pact for democracy, the rule of law and fundamental rights, establishing channels for cooperation between the institutions and member states when threats arise.
The Libe Committee has also proposed a set of common criteria to measure respect for core European values in the member states. Will these proposals pass through the plenary session next week?
We'll be following the vote. You're listening to European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.